Hey guys, how is it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you see this. So we're continuing on with the general bones and charms readings for both Pisces and Aries. So we're just doing a little bit of incense here to kind of clear the energy. That is for you guys as well. Clear the energy from the bones and charms, and just from the general environment, of course. Okay. But yeah, everybody is welcome, regardless of where you may have Pisces and Aries in your individual birth chart. All right. And these are general readings, of course, so take what may resonate with you and leave the rest behind. If you are a sun sign Pisces, a rising Pisces, have your ascendant Pisces, right? Have your moon in Pisces, have your Venus in Pisces, have something associated with the house of Pisces, 12th house, right? Since we all have Pisces somewhere in our chart, everybody is welcome. All right. But with that being said, I do want to check the sound real quickly and make sure that we're going live on Facebook and all of that good stuff before we continue on. All right. So I'm just going to put our little incense over to the side. All right. And then let's see, make sure our sound is good. Okay. Sound is good. Then we will be checking the Facebook really quickly. All right, just bear with me for a moment, guys. Okay. All right, good enough. Okay, so let's also do a little sound bell here, to also clear the energy from the bones and charms from ourselves, right? And to make sure that I am receiving the messages as clearly as possible from my guides, to you guys. All right. So if you're sensitive to sound, you can feel free to temporarily turn it down. But yeah, this is going to be for Pisces for July 2025. All right. That was a good one, I think. Okay. So I'm just going to put that up over here out of the way. Okay. And now we're going to shuffle the bones and charms in this little bag, so it does get loud temporarily as well, so feel free to turn it down if it bothers you, but thank you for your patience and understanding. I do have to do it before every reading. All right. So spirits, please guide my hands, please. Messages for water sign Pisces, please. Messages for water sign Pisces for July 2025. What does Pisces need to see? What does Pisces need to know for their highest vibration? Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces for Twin Fish. Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces for Twin Fish. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces with Twin Fish for July. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Pisces with Twin Fish for July. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for water sign Pisces with Twin Fish for July. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Pisces. Messages for water sign Pisces the twin fish for July. Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Messages for water sign Pisces for July. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Messages for Pisces. Messages for Pisces for July. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Pisces. All right. Let's put this over here. Very good. Okay. Thought it was going to fall, but we're good. All right. So before I bring the camera down in a few minutes, I just want to move in any of the bones and charms that have gone off of the black mat onto the white mat. So we're still going to keep them there. We're just going to move them in a little bit so when we do bring the camera down, we can see things better, right? So it doesn't change their meaning, okay? It's just so we can see, all right? And then I'm going to also flip over any of the bones and charms that I can ahead of time. If they're too close to each other, on top of each other, I'll wait till we get to that part of the reading. All right, and then also I'm going to ask Spirit real quickly where they want to start this reading, since it's different for all the readings. But that generally looks pretty good. And of course, I will take a picture at the end as well, like I always do, so people can look at it later again if they want. All right, so Spirits, please guide my hands. Where would you like me to start this Pisces July reading? Spirits, guide my hands. Where would you like me to start this Pisces July reading? Right here. All right. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so I'm just putting my pen there. You can't see it yet, but you will in a moment. So we'll go over the different sections, right? But basically for the people that have been here before or it's been a while, right? Basically you could come to this reading. It could be about you or someone else or multiple people or just your kind of general environment situation, all right? But we do have these different sections that we're going to go into and then kind of summarize it overall. But we have body and mental health, we have relationships and love, we have work and money, and then we have spiritual unconscious, also known as your intuition, right? Or your intuitive side or someone's or the energy, okay? But yeah, let me go ahead now and bring the camera down so you can see. All right. Let's move my chair over a little bit. Okay. So they want to start right here, all the way out here, where we have our first skull. So I have 2 skulls in my kit. And a lot of times where we see a skull can tell us where someone's mind is at, where it was, or where it may be. Okay, so we have one all the way out here in the spiritual unconscious where we're going to start. And just as like a little preview, we have your other one over here, right on the line between relationships and love and work and money. So we'll get to that one later. But I just kind of wanted to show you both of them. All right. So where we are starting here, Pisces, okay, in the spirituality or unconscious section, also known as intuition, right? What you feel at night when you're alone, your gut reactions to things, your first impulses, that's kind of this section. So we can see possibly that in the past here, and what is the past? It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. But someone's mind was heavy on kind of this subject, right? And if we also go this way, this is again all past energy because it's on the white part of the mat, okay? is that perhaps there was some challenges, some spiritual, unconscious, intuitive challenges here with the mountain charm. And then we have the cat's eye. So if you're familiar with tarot, and if you're not, that's okay too. But the cat's eye is almost like the moon card. So it's about not having all of the information, something still kind of maybe being hidden a little bit, or just not having all the information or wisdom or knowledge yet. So there was some challenging kind of energy here with that in the past. It's still a little bit, possibly very small in the future, current, present energies, but I feel like it's mainly in the past, okay? But it does make sense why we would see the skull out all the way out here, you know, if there is a little bit of some challenging energy, all right, or something that we're not having all the information. Now, if we go over here on this side, Pisces, we do have the corn charm, and then we have the strawberry charm. So it could be like in the past, someone or some energy could have been trying to plant some seeds, something like spiritually deep or wanting to take root, and there was something about going over the details was really important, but maybe because some person or some energy was trying to do this, but then they didn't have all the information about those going into the details, that maybe that's why there was also some challenges, okay? If we also go this way, we still have a couple things here that are right on the line that are in the past as well that also apply to this section, right? So we have another, or one of our first human tooth bones here. So someone chewing over and digesting, maybe how to be proactive, assertive, aggressive in some sense around finding spiritual happiness, around finding unconscious, intuitive happiness here, because we have the first raccoon penis bone that does represent higher vibrational masculine energy. So again, proactive, assertive, aggressive. It looks like it wants to hug the sun charm over here. So hug and grab and manifest this spiritual happiness, okay? Now, if we also go this way, that's right on the line, is we now have the dog ankle bone that's leading into the cup, and then we have more masculine energy with the masculine charm. And then that is leading into the raccoon claw. We have a coyote penis bone, so 3 kind of masculine energies all together. And then that's leading to the very small bone here, which is a piece of the fish vertebrae. All right, the backbone, right? So in this striving for spiritual happiness, in this striving for unconscious intuitive happiness, there could be like a need to be flexible with the emotions here, okay? And trying to manifest like all of this masculine energy around possibly feeling more support with the spirituality, with the unconscious, with the intuition. So our support system could be our spiritual support system, right? Our ancestors, spirit guides, past and loved ones, friends, family. But it could also be our 3D, let's say, support system, which is romantic partner, friends and family, okay, that kind of thing. But just being like flexible with all of these emotions around this is going to be important. But your spiritual team also wants to show up here with the angel coin right on the line, okay? That also applies to this first section. We're still in the spiritual unconscious, okay? So they just want to let you know that they're here, right? And since we're now kind of on the mat, right? We started out here in this past energy, and then we've moved inward. The other thing that is showing up here, Pisces, and I'm just going to flip over this dragonfly, is that we have the scissors here with the dragonfly, right? And so this could be talking about a need to cut something away, to cleanse something that's maybe no longer useful or doesn't resonate as much in terms of you or someone else or the energies, spiritual unconscious dreams, okay? What you want in those areas, right? Because I do see a lot of movement here with the bicycle as well. This could also be referencing like astral travel, lucid dreaming, right? Traveling when you're unconscious, okay? But it could just be a general symbol for a lot of movement and change happening here. And I do see a big piece of the puzzle here for someone or for the energy could just be about listening to your own intuition, listening to the spiritual nature of yourself and your unconscious. That's a big piece of the puzzle. That's what it is all about, right? So turning off the distractions and tuning in with yourself, or someone else's tuning in with themselves, okay, or just the general energy, because that's what this section really is all about, okay? Because we do have Pegasus, the winged horse, here, so this lighter, kind of freer energy does kind of want to come in and support that. It's almost like Pegasus could then like fly up and push and support that even more, right? So we also kind of have maybe possibly a teacher, a mentor, a guide here, Pisces, or this could be your own leadership qualities here, with the apple charm showing up, all right? Because we have team working energy here with also the bumblebee, right? So it represents individual power and then also a sense of community or power around it. So each honeybee is important. If they each started to die off or quit their job, there would be no honey, there would be no hive, right? All of those kinds of things. So the individual effort that someone is putting into their spirituality, into their unconscious, or into their intuition is important, but maybe also working again with a community of like-minded people, friends, family, etc. Also working with your spiritual team, right? Your energies on the other side, right? With the angel coin. But I definitely like, what I see here so far. All right. Now, as we move inward, you, Pisces, just kind of like Aquarius, and I can't remember if Capricorn was like this, but there's a lot of bones and charms in every kind of section. And then, of course, we have stuff going through the middle and crossing over. So, definitely a lot happening here. It's not a good or bad thing, right? It's just a lot of information. So, in some readings, like one section could be completely empty, and then sometimes when that happens, spirit is like focused more on these other areas. But for you, and also I think for Aquarius and possibly Capricorn, I can't remember now, a lot of areas need attention, okay? And it's not a bad thing, it's just kind of what's going on. So it could have something to do with like the general astrology for you guys too. But what we see next here is kind of a lot going on, okay? But the first thing that I see, and it's upside down, so I'll try to like maybe turn it around if it doesn't mess stuff up too much, okay? Very gentle, there we go. So we have the irresponsibility coin showing up here right on the line as well, but I do like that the broom is behind it, okay? So when we're still talking about this section, the spiritual, unconscious, intuitive side, if someone was not being responsible with listening to their own intuition or listening to their spirituality, there's definitely a need to cut or cleanse or sweep that away, okay? Because when you do this, Pisces, or when someone else does, or the energy shifts this way, then we also have this beautiful wish coming in. So nice. And the baby charm is inside of the turkey wishbone's legs. So this could be a wish of something about, like, let's say 3D physical children, yours or someone else's, but in particular too, because we're in the spiritual unconscious section, this could be talking about just an inner child kind of energy, or youthful energy in general, okay? So there's maybe a wish to let this irresponsibility go and making something more playful but still responsible. Like there's a way to have both. Like I don't know why these have to be kind of separate, right? And what I'm also seeing here, Pisces, is if we go this way, right, is now we have the fish vertebrae showing up, and it's touching the baby's leg, the backbone here. And then we also have one of the human tooth bones underneath that turkey wishbone. So someone chewing over and digesting you or someone else, or the energy if it's not a person. Again, how to have that wish for more of a playful energy when it comes to the spirituality or the unconscious or the intuitive side, because there is support around, okay? But also because this is a fish vertebrae backbone, fishes live in water, right? So there could be a need to go with the flow here or something like this, all right? But it is also touching that second raccoon penis bone that is then crossing and going this way. Okay, so over here, Pisces, now we finally kind of see your symbol showing up here. So we said before, right, that the raccoon penis bone can represent divine masculine, higher vibrational divine masculine energy. So being proactive, assertive, aggressive, perhaps around, um, again, water element, the fish vertebrae, the twin fish, that's you, Pisces. So being proactive around memories of how to feel more like yourself here with the elephant. Of course, it could have something to do with another Pisces or during Pisces season, and that kind of stuff. But it's generally, if we put all the zodiac stuff aside too, you see these fish are going with the tide. They're not going against it. Okay, so there's definitely some kind of energy about that coming in here as well. And then over here, kind of a little bit under this raccoon penis bone is my symbol for Capricorn. So it's like something about putting in the effort or being resilient or not giving up, with getting back to a sense of your memories of like who you are and what makes who you are, just uniquely you, right, Pisces? So again, this could have something to do with a Capricorn or during Capricorn season or where you have Capricorn in your chart, but it doesn't have to. It just really represents the goat, going up the mountain, traveling difficult paths, remaining flexible, right? But also just not giving up, okay? So I really like that. Now the last, hopefully last thing here we'll see as far as this section, because there's just a lot, right? I didn't mean that in the bad way. But here we have the end of this raccoon penis bone, and then it's leading into a couple of these charms here that we haven't talked about yet. And I can see that one of them, if I pull it out, we can flip it over. Okay, so that's the envelope charm. All right. So here, Pisces, you know, this being proactive, assertive, aggressive energy, higher vibrational masculine energy with getting back to a sense of who you are spiritually, intuitively, and putting in effort here. It also goes this way, right? And goes into these things. So clearing and cleansing and is going to be important. So cleaning the spiritual house, right? Not just your physical house, but your inside your spiritual house, your unconscious, your intuition. So when you do that, or when someone else does, or the energy shifts this way, this can also lead to a lot of nice, now feminine energy balancing out the masculine and the feminine. So as a stereotype, higher vibrational feminine energy would be soft and receiving here, something about, again, clearing and cleansing the spiritual house with the chair here. It could be also your 3D physical home wherever you live, right? But what I really like to see here, Pisces, is, I'm just flipping it over, here we have the star. Okay, so it was like at the top of the chair, and then it was of course touching the water charm. So this is about, following your North Star, and embracing the emotions, right? So our emotions, when we're talking about our spirituality or unconscious or our intuition, that's what it's all about, right? So it's like following the things that make sense to you and make you also feel at home spiritually, unconsciously, intuitively, all right? And then when you do this, Pisces, or someone else does, or the energy shifts, we also have some type of message or communication coming in to you or from you, okay, or just in general here with the envelope charm, and chewing over and digesting maybe what this message means as far as some new ideas here with the lightning bolt. And I love that the witch charm is on top of that, because she is my symbol for friends, a group of friends, or friendly type of energy, maybe helping like process this information, okay, this spiritual download, this message, right, coming in. And it's like it might get you or someone else or the general energy really excited to keep manifesting something and moving forward and digging deep and working with others as a team here with that raccoon claw. But there's also a need to go slow with something here because we have the turtle showing up as well. Okay. All right, so let's pull back out here for a second, Pisces. Hopefully that will start to make sense if it doesn't already, okay? But now we're going to go ahead and move into your work and money section, okay, over here, and kind of start in the past and then again move inward, all right? So I believe this is the last charm that came out of the bowl, you know, when I was shuffling. I think it was, I can't remember exactly, but I know it was one of the heavier ones, okay? Um, and so here, Pisces, we have this no energy kind of showing up for you, okay, in the past in terms of work or money, or finances, or a sense of being valued. So, no doesn't have to be for forever, right? And no doesn't have to be a bad thing. Sometimes it's protection, right? That saying, rejection is God's protection. So this could be a no that you gave to someone, or in general here, or someone gave to you, or just in general, okay? But again, with whatever this no was in terms of work or money, then you have the green lucky rabbit's foot over here, also half in the past and mostly in the future, current, present energy. So whatever this no was, I don't feel that it is necessarily a bad thing, okay? Because what I can also see, like over here, Pisces, is we have a piece of the whale vertebrae backbone here, and then we also have the yin and yang symbol. So here, this is like, okay, where do I find support to have more balance, right, with the work, the money, the finances, or a sense of being valued? So this here, when we talk about support system in this section, right, it could be a boss, it could be coworkers, it could be your regular support system, your romantic partner, your friends and family, whatever it may be, okay? But I do like that this is like leaning towards that kind of balanced energy here. Just want to make sure there's nothing under here. Okay, we're good. Just put that back. Now, the other few things over here in the past that we want to go over real quickly is we have this human tooth bone showing up here. We have one of the coyote penis bones. And then, of course, we have the snake vertebrae backbone piece kind of on its side here. So also in the past, chewing over and digesting, how to be assertive with this support system. Again, maybe the support system was changing or evolving, because here this is the snake vertebrae, right? They shed their skin. They represent evolution and change, right? And so when this happened, or is still possibly happening here, Pisces, in the work money section, this could also like be influencing why we have this raccoon penis bone coming in here, right on the line in the past and in the present, current, future possibilities energy, like finding happiness at work, with the work, the money, the finances, or a sense of being valued. There are a lot of emotions around this, okay? And we do have Saturn, right, going retrograde this month, along with 3 other planets. So Saturn rules responsibilities, limitations, delegating tasks, paying bills, getting things done, right? So because that's going on collectively for the general astrology here, Pisces, it could also be why we have all these emotions. But the emotions don't have to be a bad thing. It can help add some type of sense of flexibility, okay, either on your part or someone else's, or the general energy. So having more flexibility at work, or with the work, the money, the finances, our sense of being valued. Because remember, we have masculine energy here, masculine energy here with the masculine charm, masculine energy here with the second coyote penis bone. So it's like, you know, being proactive, being pro-assertive, being aggressive, being a go-getter, being an entrepreneur, like all this kind of energy, like 3 times here. But support is really a big thing, because you have it here, you have it here with that fish vertebrae backbone, the snake vertebrae backbone, the whale vertebrae backbone, right? So support being like a big theme, okay? Now, as we go this way too, when we talk about support, it can also be our sense of community, okay? And working teamwork energy here with this coyote claw. So what is the team working energy at work, with the work, the money, the finances, or just helping work with a team to create whatever it is like that you may want to be manifesting, okay? Because your spiritual team is here too with that angel coin right on the line. It also applies this way, okay? So this could be passed on loved ones, friends, family, angels, spirit guides, ancestors, etc., wanting to help, or just they're like, we're here, okay? Because we also know here too, Pisces, that whatever is in this center circle, right, affects all of the different areas, and things that are on the line also apply this way. So with that now fourth masculine energy coming through here and going this way in terms of work or money or finances, it's like the memories of yourself, how to be yourself more at work, or go with the flow, or tap into that beautiful Pisces kind of creative, higher vibrational Pisces energy, and putting in effort here and not giving up, again with that Capricorn goat energy, to clear something and cleanse something, also possibly within the home, right? Or where we feel at home when we're working or at work, or when we're talking about money, or a sense of money philosophy here. So following your North Star and working again with the emotions. You got all these emotions, the cup here, the water here. You are Pisces, water, right? But there's just all these emotions. That doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, okay? But there is a need to clear and cleanse something and tune into this feminine energy now, because we have both masculine and feminine. But feminine being that soft receiving energy is in terms of, working with these emotions, all right? Working with the intuition that we talked about in the beginning of the reading. Now, also here, this could be, because this is on the line as well and crossing a little bit into the center circle, there could be some type of message that you get or give in terms of work or money, that maybe has something to do with the friend or friendly type of energy around it, but you or someone else could be chewing over and digesting this and like, oh, look at these beautiful new ideas coming in with the lightning bolt. I need to go slow here before we go deep, okay, with the turtle and then the raccoon claw going that way, right? So I definitely, like that energy there for you, Pisces. Now, a few other things that are on the line that we haven't talked about at all yet, right, is that there is a big transformation happening, okay, with the work or money or finances or our sense of being valued, right? Because here also right on the line, we have the butterfly, okay? So we got a lot of stuff, right? But if we just focus on the butterfly, it's in two sections. It's in relationships and love, and work and money, all right? And so with this transformative energy here, these transformations, there could be something about a leap of faith going on here with the frog. And then we have Leo the lion showing up, okay? So this could have something to do with the Leo, or during Leo season, or where you may have Leo in your chart or someone else. Or it doesn't mean any of the zodiac stuff, and it's just really about where can we make a leap of faith during these transitions and transformations to keep having the passion and the creativity with the work, the money, the finances, or our sense of being valued. Because if we also go this way, now we have the coffin charm, and on top of it is the 4-leaf clover. I'm just flipping it over, right, so we can see it a little bit better. So here, just like the angel coin, right, it's another symbol for your spiritual team, pass on loved ones, friends, family, ancestors, spirit guides, what have you. But there's all this good luck here on top of it, and they want to help you with whatever this transformation energy is, okay? Now here, Pisces, this is really beautiful too. We have the hummingbird, right? It's also right on the line. So the hummingbird can talk about doing something non-traditional, or doing something that you are naturally good at, or someone else is naturally good at, or the general environment energy, right? But the hummingbird flies backwards. Okay, it's different from the regular birds, right? But it does get the sweetest nectar, okay? And it is the fastest bird, even though it does something a little bit differently. So that could be a message here for some of you guys, Pisces, in terms of your work or money or finances, okay? With all of these transformations happening and all this beautiful good luck. Because you have good luck twice. Remember, you have the majority of the green lucky rabbit's foot over here, and then you also have the 4-leaf clover. Very beautiful. All right, so now as we continue on this way, Pisces, I kind of said a little bit earlier that here we have your second skull that's right on the line. Okay, so this could be showing us that you or someone else, or the energy, is thinking a lot about not only relationships, we'll talk about later, but also work and money. And then I love that the skeleton hand is behind it, okay, and it is also, here we have the safety pin, right? And so it's like your spiritual team again here is like, we got you. We're like touching you on the back of the head. Like, you ever feel someone touching or some kind of energy on your shoulder or your back of your head? That happens to me a lot, particularly with my grandmother who's passed. But just that energy of like someone saying, I got your back, right? We're talking about the backbones, right? Here they're like, I got the back of your head, like no need to worry here, or something like this. There is all this beautiful protection coming in from your spiritual team here, Pisces, in terms of work or money or finances or a sense of being valued. I'm just waiting for the camera to kind of focus that. It's probably moving too much, but here also, like underneath the chin of the skull charm, we also have the freedom handcuffs, and then we have the seashell charm showing up here, and then on the other side, I could barely see it, but we also have the key charm, right? So here, Pisces, this is kind of telling me that with the protection from your spiritual team, your support system, they want to help you feel more freedom that maybe perhaps you or someone else has wanted for a long time when it comes to work or money or finances or your sense of being valued. They also want to help you have the freedom to find these answers, okay? These solutions, right, at work or with the work, the money, the finances, all right? And the only other last thing I'll say about this section is kind of like all the way out here, if we followed that pretend dotted line, right, it's also going to run into the seahorse here, okay? Kind of half in the past and half in the future, current, present energies, all right? So the seahorse represents for me family, okay? So this could be blood family, it could be relatives, it could be parents, it could be children, right? But it could also represent like whoever is your trusted tribe or group of people that you feel is your family. They're just showing up here to back up, I feel like, your spiritual support system. So then there's another that you could say this is your 5D support, Pisces, and then the 3D is behind that too. Okay, so again, whether that's your blood family or your extended family of group of friends and trusted people, whatever it is, you got all this like double support here in these areas. Okay, so definitely think that that is cool. All right. And now I want to go ahead and move into next, Pisces, your body and mental health section, and then we'll end on the relationship section, okay? Because there is a couple things out here in the past we'll talk about, and then all these other things that are going on here as well, okay? So we can see all the way out here in the past, and I'll just kind of flip it over so you can see it better. And what is the past, right? When in terms of someone's health, could be a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. But here, Pisces, we got the Cupid alongside with our second honeybee charm showing up here, okay? Excuse me. And so when we're talking about someone's health, it could be that in the past, because this is my symbol for love, all types of love, whether it's romantic, platonic, or self-love, friends and family, etc. That is a sense of community there, maybe wanting to help someone here in the past with their body health, with their mental health, right? Because we do also have with the honeybee this emphasis on like individual effort that someone puts into their own health, and then also something about a sense of community. So it could be health professionals like a doctor, a trainer, a guide, a mental health person, a counselor, therapist, what have you, whatever it is. So we kind of just see that information like all the way out here in the past, and that's the only things that I'm seeing out there. Okay, but then as we move inward here, Pisces, we do have the ship charm showing up here. Okay, so this could be talking about something about like 3D physical travel for someone's health. Okay, and or it could also just be talking about how being by water is very good for everybody's health, right? For your mental health and also for your physical health. Okay, because we also can see here, Pisces, that with this fork and then the mermaid here, this could be talking about really longing for something here to do with nutrition, okay, for some people, because it's like, what are we physically eating, right? But it could also be talking about asking questions like, what are we mentally digesting as well? Is it healthy for us, right? The music we listen to, the things we watch on TV, all of those things, okay, people we talk to and listen to and absorb. How does that affect our health? So there could be a longing for this with the mermaid. It could go back to past lives even, but it doesn't necessarily have to go back that far, okay? Um, but I feel that if there is any like small, blockages with the health here, Pisces, I got a little incense mark there, but that's okay. Um, with here, the lock charm, that the way to maybe get out of that or anchor yourself out of that is to be like the bat, right? And not necessarily just look at communications with mental health, like what am I mentally digesting, right? It could also be on a vibrational place because bats are blind, so they only can communicate with sound. So even on a vibrational place, what are the sounds that we're digesting within our body, the way we talk to ourselves even and others, right? But there's something about getting through any blockages or stagnant energy here with just recognizing that, right? So a nice reminder for all of us. And I'm just flipping over the anchor here. So when like we focus on this can also bring here, Pisces, a sense of freedom and safety here with the ship anchor, right? So as a metaphor, we can drop our anchor when we need to stop our boat, and then we can lift it when we need to go. So it doesn't mean that, you know, whatever kind of healing energy with the lizard here and then the bow and arrow that's coming in around, like, what are our health goal targets, right? What do we want for our overall body health, and what do we want for overall mental health? It doesn't mean that it has to be so rigid. It can be that the general kind of energy is, I just want to heal and I want to be healthy in these areas, okay? And that is beautiful, right? Because look at this abundance. We got the money bags here, Pisces, okay? So there is abundance, for whatever it is we want to manifest with our overall health here for you or for someone else or for the general energy environment. There is success as also showing up here with the fish charm as well, okay? So the only thing I would say, right, is that if there is, a sense of irresponsibility, okay, not being responsible with taking care of our body or our mind, our mental health here, if there's a little bit of that, and going back to the stagnant energy, there's a suggestion to just sweep that away, clear that away, right? Because also what we have here with the wish, turkey wishbone here, and then the baby inside, right, is that maybe someone's wishing for something to do with kids. Maybe somebody wants to have 3D physical children here. It doesn't have to be, right? It could also be that there's a wish here for working with someone else's children or a childlike energy in general. But it's like a gentle healing energy, something about being not so rigid, okay, with these health goals or something. You can start small and then kind of make your way up, or someone can make their way up. But there's also this beautiful energy here, Pisces, of a lot of support around that. Okay, remember how the baby's leg is then touching the bigger fishbone piece, backbone that I have here. Okay, so support system, whether it's friends, family, romantic partner. Okay, it could also be the health professionals, right? Since we're in the health section, right? So it could be a doctor, it could be a trainer, it could be a mental health counselor, what have you, wanting to help support this kind of youthful, playful energy. And that's really beautiful. Because remember, too, here, Pisces, if we go this way now in terms of health, it's like remembering who you are, okay? Or something here about memories with Pisces. That's your symbol, Pisces, right? So remembering who you are, but also remembering to go with the flow and not try so hard. Go with the tide, not against it, okay? Again, could have something to do here with another Pisces or during Pisces season or where else you might have Pisces in your chart. but putting in that effort is going to be really important for someone's overall health here. Okay, again with Capricorn energy, so not giving up, being like the goat and traveling, on the difficult mountain pathways. Okay. Um, and also here, Pisces, I haven't talked about it yet, right? Is that what else is here on this line is now we have the peace doves on top of um, the leaf charm, and then that leads into, and I'll just flip it over, one of the question marks. Okay. And so here, Pisces, when we're talking about somebody's health, um, if we want to continue to have, or just have in general, some peaceful energy for for the body and the mind, right? It's saying again to keep clearing and cleansing things that are no longer useful or not healthy or no longer resonate, right? Because if there's still some doubts or questions about this, that's what's going to help get rid of the doubts and bring in more of that calm, peaceful energy in the body and the mind. Okay. Um, what else? So the other thing I would say here, because these things also kind of cross into the center circle and apply that way too, Pisces, is that there's something about going slow here, because there are these beautiful new ideas coming in terms of health as well for the body and mental health. So you could be getting a message or giving a message here, but it's a friendly type of message also with the witch charm and the envelope charm. So chewing over and digesting this is going to be important in this area too. And continuing to clear as well, because this was like that before, right? So using that proactive, assertive, aggressive energy with the raccoon penis bone here, then leading into the feather. So keep clearing and cleansing. And now we have feminine energy showing up here. We have the chair charm, we've got the star charm, and then we have the water charm. So here, Pisces, in this aspect, it's kind of like keep clearing something about, your house, like your body is your temple. Your body is your temple, whether it's you or someone else or the general environment situation. So it's like keep clearing the house, keep clearing the temple, okay, and clearing something here about emotions and letting them flow through, because that's going to help you or someone else or the general environment situation continue to follow their North Star, like in terms of whatever their health goals may be. Okay. Um, Last thing here for this section, and then I swear we'll move on, is that here, Pisces, because these things are also crossing the line here in the center circle, is that there's possibly a transformation happening with someone's health as well with the butterfly. There's something about a leap of faith and taking the courage and the passion and the creativity to keep following that transformative energy for someone's overall health here. Okay, and your spiritual team or someone's spiritual team is showing up here again. There's also good luck around this, right? But very, very beautiful. Okay, so I think that's it for that section. So now let's move into your last section here, Pisces. Now we're moving into the relationships and love section. Okay, so this is all types of relationships. It can be romantic, platonic, with friends and family, and self-love, all of the things. All right, so we have just a few all the way out here in the past, and then we'll move inwards. All right, but we do see the Buckeye nut here pretty big. Okay, so this can say that in the past, in terms of relationships, perhaps there was a lot of abundance and good energy here. Maybe that was like going through a lot of the different types of relationships I just mentioned here with the spider and the spider web. So your relationship environment maybe was really abundant in the past or for someone else. Okay, this also could have had something here to do, Pisces, with family. Okay, maybe it's like family relationships were really abundant in the past. All right, and so this could be your blood family, your relatives, your parents, your children, but it could also be like whoever you consider your tribe or your group of people here. Okay, Pisces, so that's definitely showing up in the past and is also still kind of going on here on the black mat in the future current probabilities, possibilities, energy. Okay, now as we go this way, and I'll just turn it over a little bit so you can see, this is my seashell charm here. Okay, my listening seashell charm. So beautiful feminine energy showing up here, Pisces. Again, as a stereotype, and we all have masculine and feminine, the feminine energy would be soft and receiving and listening for something here about flexibility and boundaries and good luck in one relationship or multiple relationships. Again, whether it's romantic, platonic, or even a work partnership or whatever it is, or your relationship with yourself, because that's always the most important, right? But there's something about listening, for these boundaries, or how to set up these boundaries here, because with this bobcat tooth, we know that cats are really good at setting their own boundaries. So if they don't want to eat or they don't want to be petted or touched, they're going to let you know very clearly, right? And we also have that leading into, really hard to see with all these other designs on the mat, but this is the horseshoe in the ladybug. So there's good luck around whatever these boundaries are, whether you're setting them or you're listening and respecting them for other people too. Okay, go vice versa. But I definitely like that. Okay. Now, I just want to flip this one over because I didn't do that earlier. All right. We do have, with this happening, Pisces, that like over time, okay, here with the rope charm, if you or someone else has been thinking a lot about where do I feel safe in my relationships, right? With the skull here and then the safety pin behind it. And then we have the skeleton hand, the freedom handcuffs. We got the seashell charm and then the key. They're all kind of touching in on the line. So they also apply this way, right? That if someone is thinking a lot about where we feel safe in our relationships, your spiritual team is like, there is freedom here, there are answers, okay? But there's something really important here with this book charm, all right? And so the book charm can represent research or knowledge or information, okay? So I feel like your spiritual team is just saying, like, over time, just do your research, whatever that may mean, right? Look at all the information, okay? Because there also is something going on here, Pisces, where with the hummingbird here on the line, it's like doing something either non-traditional in one relationship or all your relationships, or doing something that maybe other people don't necessarily understand right away, because the hummingbirds do fly backwards, but it is like doing whatever makes sense here for you in terms of your relationship or someone else, etc., right? Because the other thing that we have going on here, that we haven't talked about any of this stuff here in the middle throughout the whole reading yet, because they weren't touching anything else, is like, look, Pisces, at the alligator claw. It's right on the word relationships and love. It's literally covering the word love, right? So this is a good luck symbol, but it's also about reaching and manifesting and striving for something. So definitely reaching for love, right? That's what it's all about, okay? And with that, okay, with this feminine energy, there could be a wish here with the wish charm hiding underneath, okay? A wish about something here, Pisces, about equal give and take, or balance, or reciprocity in one relationship or all relationships, okay, here with the balance scales showing up. Now, Pisces, this could have something to do with the Libra or during Libra season, where you may have Libra in your chart or someone else, but it doesn't have to be, okay? It's just really about that equal give and take. Now, what's really interesting here too, Pisces, is that I usually say whatever's on the heart on the mat can represent our heart chakra or someone's, right? And so we also see that the crown was kind of hiding underneath. I'm just kind of lightly flip this over and push everything back. But this crown was kind of hiding underneath our Saturn symbol here, okay, like that. So the crown is a symbol for someone that has more knowledge than you or has more confidence even. It could be like a boss, right? But here we're talking about relationships, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a boss, because we're not in the work and money section, right? We're in the relationship section. But it's just somebody like that has a lot of confidence or has more knowledge in one of these areas, okay? This could even be about, I forgot to say over here with that Libra energy and the balance scale, something to do for a small few with like a court case or laws or some type of justice in terms of a relationship or something like this. But when we have Saturn showing up here on top of the crown, it's like Saturn is coming in here, Pisces, to also talk about your own leadership qualities in your relationships as well. Because with Saturn being here and Saturn going into retrograde in the middle of the month, it's like, what are our responsibilities and limitations in our relationships? So with Saturn going retrograde, it's asking us to reassess, reaffirm, rework, release, something like this, right? In terms of our relationships, okay? Because if we go this way, remember, if there's any doubts or doubting energy, we need to clear and cleanse that away, so then we can also bring in this peaceful energy with the peace doves also being there, Pisces, all right? Because as we know from earlier, right, there's also like a transformation happening here in your relationship section. So it could be one relationship or multiple, or just even you, right? Since it could even be your relationship with yourself, self-love. So here with that transformative energy, with the butterfly here right on the line, also applies this way, is that frog being there, that leap of faith and leading into Leo, the lion energy, could have something to do with the Leo or during Leo season, where you have Leo in your chart or someone else does, or it doesn't mean anything on the zodiac side, and it's just about that fiery energy, that passionate creativity, the courage to make some type of leap of faith in a relationship. Because your spiritual team is here and they're blessing it. Remember, with the coffin, they're blessing it with all of this good luck. Okay, so to get that sense of freedom and get those answers, we're going to continue to learn something here, or being open to learning something, or doing our research, or gathering all the information. Okay. Because the other thing about, what's going on here, if we go this way, because this is also right on the line, so it also applies this way, right, is that now we have Sagittarius energy. What are the relationship goals? Like, where do we pull back that arrow and hit the target? Okay, so it could have something to do with the Sagittarius, or during Sagittarius season, where you have Sagittarius in your chart, but it doesn't have to. It could just also really be about, what are the relationship goals? Is the goal healing, right? Because the lizard is on top. Is the overall goal, is it to have healing relationships, right? There's something about having a sense of freedom and safety around this beautiful healing energy. Then showing up here, Pisces, with that ship anchor as well. There could be something here going on with our subtle vibrations and how we communicate, and if there's any blockages there, right? It's like, how do we communicate just energetically when with our relationships, not just with the words we speak in our voices, but how do we communicate energetically? If there's stagnant energy there and this is blocking our sense of freedom and safety, how can we heal that? And again, look for what we want in our relationships and try to work on that. Because remember, you also have Capricorn here, Pisces, like right on the line as well. It could be something to do with a Capricorn, but it doesn't have to, or Capricorn energy in general, right? But remember, you're up here, your symbol here, Pisces, there's you, the twin fish. So if there's memories of like something about yourself, or how to get back to a sense of yourself, that putting in that effort, okay, is not only good for like your overall health or someone's overall health, it's in all the sections, because it passes through the middle. So working on yourself, getting back to a sense of yourself here, Pisces, putting in that effort is going to help you with the work and the money. It's going to help you with the spiritual and conscious. It's going to help you with the body and mental health. And it's, of course, going to help with your relationships, right? Because we need to clear and cleanse something and get back into that feminine energy to maybe do something too about like where we live, right? People that we may live with. If you live with somebody here with the chair, and working with the emotions to help us guide our own North Star here, okay? But lots of beautiful stuff happening in this reading. I hope that, some of that will make sense if it doesn't already. Okay. But really, really nice reading here, Pisces. All right. So I am going to put the camera down for a moment and make sure that I take a picture, as I don't want to forget to do that. You can look at the little skull there for a minute. Um, and then we'll kind of clear the energy and move on to Aries. All right. But I do appreciate everybody being here, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. If you do follow or like or share, it does support my readings, and I really appreciate that since I do these readings for free. It kind of just lets me know that you like the readings as well, all of that stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to just kind of gather these up for a moment into the bowl and let the bones and charms rest, because we want to respect the energy also from the animals, for the bones and all of that stuff. Okay. But yeah, enjoy this season. Excuse me, Pisces, or whenever you see this reading. All right. And now we're going to kind of clear the energy and see what messages we have coming from Spirit for Aries as well for July. All right, and we'll also kind of rotate, the mat here. Since when I do cast the bones and charms, my eyes are closed, but I also kind of like to rotate the mat too, to kind of just switch up the energy and not know where things are, and really let Spirit be the one that is giving the messages. All right, let's cover these for a moment. Okay, this over here. We'll let it rest with the bones and charms. We'll get a little bit more incense going here. Get our sound bell, all the things. All right, so now I'm going to put the camera back up to just kind of wave at you guys for a moment. And so also, of course, you can see me cast the bones and charms. So just bear with me for a second while I see if I can get like the right camera angle to get majority of the table. Okay, something like that. Good enough. Okay. All right, guys. Hey. Okay. So we're gonna tap in here and switch to Aries, like I mentioned. All right. And I will be putting timestamps in later after the live is done for some people who may just want Pisces or who may just want Aries. Okay. But yeah, we'll do our sound bell, we'll do a little bit of incense, and then we'll get started here. Maybe have a sip of coffee to continue on with all the things. All right. So these are matchstick incenses, are pretty cool. My allergies have been bothering me, so I don't want to do the longer incenses for right now. But a little bit for you guys. Yes, yes. Of course, for the bones and charms to clear the energy. A little bit for me, for the whole environment here. Yes, yes. All right, so let me put this over here like that. It'll stay. Okay. I have the fan going, so anyway, we just wanted a little bit. All right. So now, guys, we're going to do a sound bell as well. So we're clearing energy. You can do that with intention. You don't have to use incense. You don't have to use the sound bell, of course. It's just your energy as well. But I think those things help to get in the mood too. Okay. So we're going to do this now for Aries. All right. And if you're sensitive to sound, you can temporarily turn it down if it gets too loud for you, or you're listening with headphones or something like this. All right. So anyway, this is going to be for Aries for July 2025. messages we're going to get from Spirit for you, Aries, for July. And everybody is welcome, right? Regardless of where you may have Aries in your chart. You could be a Sun Aries, you could be a Moon Aries, you could be a Rising Ascendant Aries, you could have your Venus in Aries, whatever it may be, or something even about your first house, okay, since we all have Aries somewhere. But anyway, let's go ahead now and shake and shuffle the bones and charms. That's the way I have to do it. So it may make a little bit of noise as well temporarily, okay? But it's not for the whole reading, so I just kind of have to get in here and do that. So thank you for your patience and understanding, guys. All right. And spirits, please guide my hands. Messages for Aries for their highest good. For July 2025, spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Aries for their highest good. Please guide my hands. Messages for Aries. Fire sign Aries, the Ram, for their highest good for July. Messages for Aries. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for Aries. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram, for their highest good for July. Spirit, please guide my hands. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries for their highest good for July. What does Aries need to see? What does Aries need to know for their highest good? Spirit, guide my hands, please. Spirit, guide my hands, please. Messages for Aries for their highest good for July. Messages for Aries. Messages for Aries. All right. Let me put this up over here. Out of the way. All right. So, Aries, let's see. All right. Before we take the camera down, I'm just going to move in some of the bones and charms. It doesn't change their meaning. It just helps us see it better, right? And then flip over any of them that I can ahead of time. So when we do bring the camera down, it'll be kind of ready to go. All right. That one I'm not going to move because it's doing its thing. All right. What else? We can flip these two. Very gently. Gentle. You guys play that game Operation or seen it? For kids, you probably know what I'm talking about, but maybe not. It's just like a little tiny pieces, delicate thing here. Okay. So that's pretty good. I don't want to move all of them right now. But yeah, let's see where Spirit wants to start this reading as well before we get closer. So just bear with me. I'm going to hover my hands over and see where they want to go. All right. Spirits, where do you want to start this Aries reading for July? Spirits, where do you want to start this Aries reading for July? Right there. Okay. So, it kind of wants to start, in between two sections, which is totally fine, Aries. But yeah, this is where the energy was kind of leading me, okay? If we look at your reading as a whole right now for just a second, I would say the majority of your bones and charms are all in the spiritual unconscious or intuition, and also in body and mental health. Okay, that's a majority. But then, of course, you still have some that cross in that center circle where all the lines intersect. So that can apply to all the different areas, right? But it's not a bad thing, right? It just could be that there's less focus on relationships and love or work and money in a sense, right? In some sense, and more of a focus on these other areas, okay? But it doesn't mean that there aren't things still happening, and of course we'll go over that, all right? But if you can just see as a whole, it's like more all of this way, all right? So anyway, with that being said, let me get the camera and take it down and show you guys in a better view for you. Okay. Let me just get my chair right here. Oh, I hit the wall. All right. So yeah, you see what I'm saying here, Aries, like with all that kind of going down that way. Okay. So again, not a good or bad thing. It just is something to notice. Okay. So they want to just start like right in here, kind of where I have my pen, like in between these two sections. Okay. And I wanted to say too before that, you know, if you've been here before, you know the drill, but if you haven't, right, this reading here, Aries, could be about you or someone else, multiple people, general environment situation. So always take it how it may resonate for you. Never force the reading. Always check out your other placements, all that good stuff, right? But yeah, let's get into the nitty gritty here, okay? Because all of these things are, you know, touching each other, and then they're going back to the center circle. So like I said, they can still apply to all the different areas, okay? But the main thing here, okay, before we lift up some of this stuff and get messy in here, is that the turkey wishbone is like a main focus, okay? So what does that represent? It represents some type of wish, right? And there's some questions here around a wish or a group of wishes, okay, with that question mark turned on its side here. And then this is really interesting here too, Aries. It's like the alligator claw is reaching and touching and picking up, okay, the cat's eye. So if there are some doubts and some questions here and there's not enough information, right, just know here, Aries, that there is a lot of protection on the other side of that, okay, with the Norse symbol of protection here. I can also see we have a human tooth bone, so someone may be chewing over and digesting, or will be, this like beautiful protective energy. Okay, so I'm just going to lift it up because we got to see like what else is underneath, okay? So I can also see we got the crown charm here, and I'm not sure yet what's underneath. Okay, I thought it was that. So here, Aries, we have the water charm, right? I'm trying to kind of put it back the way it was roughly. Okay, so anyway, with the crown being on top of the water charm, right? Just put it back like that. This can be about like wishing for some type of level up in one area of your life or multiple areas of your life. So leveling up in your relationships, leveling up with the work and the money, leveling up in the spirituality, leveling up in the body and the mental health, right? But there's a lot of emotions around it, and there's still some doubt too. So it's like good emotions and then also maybe not so fun emotions, right? Because there's some things that maybe we don't have all the information, or something is still hidden here. But with that too here, Aries, I definitely like that we have the first honeybee showing up. So this is talking about individuality and community. Okay, so what is our individual effort that we're putting into something here or someone else is, but also what's the community effort, okay? Because we're still not really talking about one particular section. We're kind of talking about everything here because the way that the reading is, okay? And again, it's not a good or a bad thing, but there's all this beautiful protection on it. And then also here, Aries, if we go this way, there is a feather here on top of and touching all these things, the angel coin, right? So here, Aries, this is about clearing and cleansing something, like your spiritual team wanting to perhaps help with this. Okay, so this can be angels, spirit guides, ancestors, past on loved ones, friends. So we have two symbols for that here, with the skeleton hand and the angel coin right next to each other. Okay, and they want you to listen to something here. It's really important with the listening bells. They want you to clear and cleanse your general environment. Okay, here with the spider and the spider web, because there's happiness underneath, Aries. Look at this. Okay, there's your sun charm. There's happiness underneath. So with the spiritual team supporting double time, this cleansing, so there can be, you know, in general, more happiness. We also have Leo the lion showing up here. Okay, Aries, so this could have something to do with the Leo, or during Leo season that we move into towards the you know, middle of the month, like July 21st, 22nd, something like this. Okay, so it could be referencing that. All right, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be representing Leo energy in general. So passion and creativity and fiery energy. And Aries, you're a fire sign too, so it's kind of like, you know, you get that, right? Or depending on where you have Aries in your chart, you get it. But it's like, if we go this way, because I moved it a little bit, and I just moved it again, touching all these things too, right, with that happiness underneath, okay, with the sun charm. Um, if there was like a wish to get rid of any challenges here, Aries, because we have the mountain charm is on top of the wish charm, right? Because nobody's wishing for challenges. I mean, that would be kind of weird, right? I mean, yeah, we want to like shake things up sometimes, but I don't think we necessarily want challenges, okay? Um, but if we're wishing to get rid of the challenges, again, your spiritual team is like, listen, we have advice for you. We want to help you here. And there's something about following your North Star and your dreams being really important here, Aries, okay, during this month or whenever you see this reading, since all the readings that I do are timeless, right? So it could be going beyond July. It could be before July, right? It could be next year. It could be the previous year, whatever it is. But being proactive, assertive, and aggressive with following your dreams, with this raccoon penis bone being here, is going to be like really important, okay? And also planting seeds for our dreams, okay? So tapping into this beautiful feminine energy here, and then that being on top of um, the corn charm, Aries, it's planting seeds, something of substance, right? And it could be like planting seeds for following our North Star and our dreams, but also with wanting something to do with this beautiful, peaceful energy. And this is the peace doves, right? That is like the only thing that passes through the center circle that affects all the areas, but because it is touching this, then it's touching everything else, right? But I would say here too, Aries, that there is masculine and feminine energy, okay, wanting to help with this beautiful clearing and cleansing of things that are no longer useful, because now we have this masculine energy charm, and it's on top of also the lock charm, okay, and then it's on top of the leaf, right? So dead leaves fall in the winter so new leaves can grow. So clearing and cleansing something, again, being really important. So being proactive, assertive, aggressive with wanting to get rid of these blocks, this stagnant energy, this locks, right? But there's also all this good luck under it. Remember, we have the four-leaf clover kind of hiding under here as well. Now, this is super interesting, Aries. Your whole reading is really, not that the other ones aren't interesting too, but it's just really interesting in a different way. We got the baby face down, right? So the baby face down is talking about a need for rest, but also downloading things when we are asleep. So this could be you or someone else or the general environment situation, Aries, but downloading a leap of faith. Who's thinking about maybe changing things up? Who's thinking about making a leap of faith, trusting in something, even if we don't have all the information? Going back to the cat's eye here, someone's really going to be thinking about this and downloading a lot of this like while they are sleeping, okay? But I also like that the baby is kind of riding on top of the masculine energy here, okay? And following that, it goes into the fork all the way out here, and then it also goes into this raccoon claw. If you can see, it was also touching, all right? And so here, when we see the fork in the overall reading too, it's like, what are we digesting in all these different areas? What are we digesting with the work and the money environments and situations? What are we digesting in our relationship situations? What are we digesting for our overall health with our body and mental health? What are we digesting with our spirituality and our intuition, right? Kind of all of that is showing up here. And being proactive, assertive, aggressive with that higher vibrational masculine energy with the raccoon penis bone here, and then leading into the dog ankle bone on this side. It's like, how can we be more flexible with that energy? Okay, how can we have also more good luck? We got Pisces, the twin fish here. We've got the horseshoe and the ladybug inside, more good luck. We've got the apple kind of hiding underneath here. So this could also be saying here, Aries, working with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, okay, is going to be important, and or your own leadership qualities here. This could be, again, something to do with a Pisces person, or during Pisces season, or you may have Pisces in your chart, or it has nothing to do with like the zodiac Pisces energy, and it's more just about where can we go with the flow and bring in more flexibility. Also, something about using our support system here with this fish vertebrae bone here as well. Okay, so fishes, right? Double fishes, three fishes, but our support systems, okay, whether it's our spiritual support system, our 3D support system with people that are alive, right? All the things, okay? But there is this beautiful Libra energy now coming in here, talking about the balance scales, equal give and take, right? Where can we have our sense of freedom and safety with the ship anchor here? So where do we drop our ship anchor when we need to stop, and where do we lift it when we need to go? There is also something here to do with justice or balance, the laws, court case, but doesn't have to be, right? The court systems. Saturn is behind that. Saturn is supporting that, right? So Saturn is our responsibilities, our limitations, getting organized, delegating tasks, right? And Saturn is going in retrograde for everyone during the month of July, mid-month, okay? And so it's asking us to reassess these things, revise, release any of these things if we need to. But Saturn is really cool here too, because it could have something about getting more serious about something with travel, or getting serious about the equal give and take in the sense of justice and reciprocity here. And this could be heavy on someone's mind. Maybe this energy started even in the past here, Aries, but it's still continuing on into the future, current, present energies, okay? Because they're all touching. And as we go this way from now the ship anchor into the second honeybee here, Aries, there's something about individuality and a sense of community helping you clear something here, or helping someone else clear something here, or the general energy, right, with it leading into the broom. And this could be about clearing something within a family, or a sense of family here, okay, because it leads into the seahorse. So this could be your blood family, Aries. It could be siblings, parents, children, but it could be in addition to that or separate from that, right? It could be whatever you consider your family, group of friends, trusted people. There's something to clear and cleanse and work with them, okay? Definitely going on here as well. All right, so let's pull all the way back out, because that was a lot kind of just in general, okay, that we can kind of apply. But next I want to move into your work and money section over here, okay? There's only one thing all the way out here in the past, okay, that we can look at. We got a little fishy charm out there, Aries. So for someone, there could have been a lot of success in some sense in terms of work or money in the past that maybe is impacting why we don't have a lot of things going on here. So there could be just generally a lot of good luck, right? With the green lucky rabbits here, foot being here, okay? And again, it could be Spirit wants you to focus more on these other areas, right, in more detail. But we can also see the freedom handcuffs here, Aries. So there could be something where a sense of freedom is coming in with the work or at work with the money, the finances, or a sense of being valued. I also see a lot of beautiful feminine energy here with this seashell. So soft and receiving and being open to all of this good luck is beautiful. And look at that, over time with the rope charm being in here, this is going to grow and grow and grow. Okay, so I definitely like that for you. Now, also right on the line, very different way, an interesting way, is we have the no charm showing up here for you, Aries. So it also applies to work and money. I want to see kind of just make sure what else is there. All right, let's flip that over. Put this back. Okay. So here, Aries, basically, if you had to give a no or receive a no in some way when it comes to work or money or your sense of finances or being valued, I feel that that no was maybe a long time coming and manifesting this no. The no could have been really subtle too. It could have been something that you didn't necessarily see with your eyes or someone else didn't see with their eyes here with the bat, but it was something that was felt or heard or something here, since bats are blind and they use echolocation. But whatever this no is, I just feel like it, again, wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't have to be no for whatever. And it doesn't have to be a a no for forever, right? It could be just simple like that famous phrase, rejection is God's protection, right? But the only, other thing I see if we now go this way, that's also right on the line that applies this way, is here, Aries, we got Pegasus, the winged horse, is then touching a little piece of the fish vertebrae backbone here too. So it's like, I like this a lot. It's like your support system with the work, the money, the finances, whether it's boss, co-workers, financial institutions, what have you, right? Or your sense of general just being valued, they want to support this. This can also be friends, family, romantic partner, etc., right? They want to help you get this sense of freedom and support here. That is so beautiful, right? And then the last thing I'll say here too is, because all these other things are touching and they still apply here, is if we want some peaceful energy too with the work or at work, with the money, the finances, or a sense of being valued, and planting seeds and following your dreams and your North Star, and making things more making things more that are going to grow like for the future, for long-term goals here with that corn charm too, that it's going to be important to listen to your spiritual team also with the work and money and finances. If you're wishing to get rid of any challenges, keep clearing and cleansing things, the spiritual team is here for that. There's all this protection and courage to do that, okay? Clear and let things go that no longer resonate, okay? To also clear like the work house, let's say, or clear the work environment, okay, even if it's just energetically, because if we still don't have all the information and there's a little bit of doubting energy here, right, with that question mark again, I'm trying to put it back the way it was. I think it was like that originally, but anyway, to chew over and digest also here too, Aries, if someone's emotional about a level up, okay, or wanting to level up or working with a higher up or someone that has more knowledge or confidence than you when it comes to the work or money, that there's all this protection on it, okay? There's all this passion and creativity and good luck around it and working within a community, okay, and individuality. So I wouldn't worry, okay? I know it's harder to say it than do it, but to be proactive, to keep clearing and cleansing things here, to keep contemplating and getting the deep rest that someone needs, maybe to continue to think about this big leap of faith, right? It could be something about a job change, or it could be something about the finances, or just our general sense of being valued here. But to keep also focusing on the flexibility aspects here, to go with the flow, to work with a teacher, a mentor, a guide with the apple, or your own leadership qualities here, right? To also work with Saturn and that Libra energy, the balance scales, to look for equal give and take and a sense of justice with the work and money and finances as well. And clear something and cleanse something within the family or whatever you consider family, right? All of those things are kind of going to be important as well, okay? And thinking also about what are we digesting in our work environment? What are we digesting here with the fork? And manifesting with the money, the finances, okay? So yeah, I think that's what we have for that section. Now to move on to your relationships and love section, okay? Not a whole lot going on here, so that's usually a good thing. It could be whatever you're doing or someone else is doing. Continue to do it, right? Because Spirit wants you to focus more on the other areas, okay? But yeah, we got the chair just kind of chilling on its side there, right on the word relationships, and going a little bit into the heart in the center. So this could be the heart chakra, right? Um, so here, Aries, there's something about the home coming through that's really important. It could be, where do you feel at home in your all your different types of relationships, right? Because this section can be romantic love, it can be platonic love with friends and family, and it can also be self-love. So it's something about, where do we feel at home here. It could also be putting emphasis on, with the chair. I just knocked it over so you can see it. With the chair being here, about maybe people we live with. If you live with people, right, could be important as well. But there's this beautiful sense of freedom here with Pegasus, the winged horse, and it's pushing up, remember, that fish vertebrae backbone. So needing to go with the flow with our support system to continue to have that sense of freedom here, even energetically in the heart chakra, is really beautiful. And if we go this way to see what else is on the line that also applies to this section, is we have the listening seashell here, Aries. Okay, so we have beautiful feminine energy showing up. Okay, so listening to something within our relationships is going to be a big piece of the puzzle. Okay, so making sure you're hearing people and they hear you, etc. And then we have the beautiful witch charm over here. So there could be a group of friends or one friend or friendly type of energy that's just showing up and helping with this, okay, to listen. And also, look at the peaceful energy, right? That also applies to relationships and love. So, same thing, right? If we want to continue to follow our dreams and our goals and our North Star in all of our different relationships, to plant seeds of substance with that and tune into the feminine energy, keep listening to our spiritual team, keep clearing and cleansing something, because happiness is there. Okay, happiness can be in your environment. And if we want to get rid of the challenges, to keep focusing on the happy aspect too, clearing and cleansing, knowing we are protected in our relationships as well. If there's a desire to level up in a relationship or work with someone that has more knowledge or confidence with us on all these emotions, and help with any doubts or things that we may not have all the information with. Maybe it's working with like a relationship counselor, or maybe it's just, working with, I have no idea all the different things it can be, since it is a general reading, right? But working through those emotions and working as a team, focusing on the beautiful protection energy here, right? To keep clearing and cleansing any blockages. And remember, also getting deep rest. Because also, if someone's considering making a leap of faith in a relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic or self-love or whatever it is, right? That also can like take a toll on the energy levels, and we need to remain flexible here and go with the flow and use our support system, right? And also ask ourselves, what kind of relationships are we digesting? That's always a good thing to kind of check in and ask from time to time, right? um, and as we go this way here, Aries, again too, like there's a sense of equal give and take, or reciprocity, or justice. Saturn coming in here, making that really important. I forgot to say that we do have Juno going direct during July. So Juno does rule relationships, partners, commitments, marriages, and even work relationships too. Okay. So just something to think about. Can we start to be easier through half of July? Okay, going forward. But clearing and cleansing something to do with the family or within a family is going to be important, again with the broom and the seahorse there. But yeah, lots of really, good stuff happening. Okay. All right. So we did. I'm trying to think of which sections we started with the general, okay, and then we did work and money, and then we just did relationships and love, right? Okay. Yes. So now we'll go ahead and move into body and mental health, and then kind of end on the spiritual unconscious over here. So we have just a few things here out in the past in terms of someone's body and mental health. We have this first skull showing up here. Then we have the yin yang symbol, and then we have the scissors all the way out here. So someone in the past may have been thinking a lot about like finding more balance or having balance with their overall health, with the body and mental health. They or you or someone else's energy could have been thinking a lot about here too, Aries, how to cut things away that are not good for us or good for someone else, right? And so that kind of just, tells us maybe why then as we move forward into the more current energies, possibilities, probabilities, energy. Now we have the Buckeye. So there's all of this abundance, okay, and good luck in whatever we want to manifest in these areas. And then we have Sagittarius energy here, Aries, a lot of fire energy, just like you, your sister sign, right? So it could have something to do with the Sagittarius or during Sagittarius season, or where you have Sag in your chart or someone else does, but it doesn't have to be. It can just really be about what are the goals and targets for someone's body and mental health here, right? Because there is also, if we go this way, a need to go slow with some type of message or communication here, Aries, okay? Whether you're receiving a message about your health, your body health, or your mental health, or someone else's, or you're giving it to someone else, there's a need to go slow there with that, okay? Like be gentle, I don't know. But if we also go this way, it's really important this month or whenever you see this reading to listen, okay, to your body, listen to your mental health. There's something here about listening, with that listening seashell, being open and soft and receiving, to listen to those things, okay? We also have here, Aries, the little witch charm. So there could be a group of friends or a friendly type of energy, or even just one friend that maybe wants to come in here and help you with some health stuff, which is really nice, or help someone else, right? And then we also have that beautiful, peaceful energy with the peace doves coming in throughout the whole body here. I love that it's touching this raccoon penis bone that is going through the whole body. Hold on, let me see how I can do this. Like that. Okay. If you see, it's upside down for me, but you guys can see that this is a little person meditating, right? And so that raccoon penis bone, that peaceful energy, is going through the whole body and the mind there and the head. Okay. So that's really, really cool. I definitely like that for you here, Aries. Okay, so I got to turn it back around, but I just wanted to show you that way for a second. And this proactive, assertive, aggressive energy with being more peaceful within the body and the mind, and planting seeds for the future and long-term goals with the health, is really definitely important. And listening to our spiritual team to help keep clearing and cleansing stuff here, to get back to that beautiful protective energy, to get back to the happiness and the passion and the creativity, to not focus so much on the challenges, but more having fun here with something Aries, and having good luck. Working also here too with our community. So we know we have our individual effort in terms of our body and mental health, or someone else's, but also what is the community effort? So it can be doctors, health professionals, right? Counselors, therapists, whatever it is, right? All the things that is important as well, because also here too, if there's a lot of emotions around leveling up or working with someone that has more knowledge or confidence, than us, so that know that it's okay to like trust them, always get second opinions, right? And of course, I'm not a doctor, so don't take this reading in that way. I have to say that legally, you know what I mean? So it's like, if there's still some doubt and we don't have all the information, get that second opinion, or take time to marinate on it, right? But work through the emotions with that or with someone, okay? Because there's all this beautiful good luck, though, also in the health area. If we want to clear and cleanse any blockages or stagnant energy, to be proactive with that, and also to get the deep rest that someone needs here with that baby facing down. Because if someone is thinking about a leap of faith with the frog underneath in terms of their body and mental health, then they're going to need that extra rest to continue or start to do that, right? And also, as we go this way here, Aries, to work with that water energy, to work with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, our support system with the health as well, to have an equal give and take, even just within the body and the mind, is going to be big. To clear or cleanse anything again within the family or with a family or family kind of energy. To remain flexible, right? To think about also going now into health. What are we not only physically digesting here with the fork, right, in our body, but also what are we mentally digesting as well, okay? It's always something important to think about. And also, too, I haven't talked about it too much yet, but here, Aries, because it wasn't exactly touching, but it's very close, right? But it feels now ready to talk about it now in these last two sections than it was for the other two. But here, Aries, there's something about boundaries with a support system that's going to be really important. So, because here we have the bobcat tooth, and then if I get closer and wait for it to focus, we also have a piece of the whale vertebrae bone and then the snake vertebrae bone here. So, the support system may be changing or evolving, maybe changing doctors, health professionals, you may be changing that, or it may just be your support system, like your friends and family maybe didn't support before or now they are, okay, or something like this. So just make sure you have your boundaries up a little bit. If people are being nosy about your health or something here, to tell them to back off, right? Whatever it may be. But I would say that is pretty much what I'm seeing in terms of body and mental health, all right? But good stuff. And now, as we move into your last section, and kind of go over a lot of this past energy, your most busiest section, so to speak, right? There's a few things we haven't talked about yet that are all the way out here on their own. But this is the spiritual, unconscious, intuitive section, right? So let's start all the way out here in the past. So we have a human tooth bone all the way out here. Then we've got Cupid. Then we got the elephant, right? So someone in the past, in terms of their spirituality, their unconscious, or their intuition, could have been thinking a lot about memories of love. That's so pretty. I love that. I love that for you, Aries. So memories, because elephants never forget, memories of love, right? Whether it's with our family, our siblings, our parents, our first relationships, right? Friends, romantic partners, etc. Just thinking a lot about that, okay? And then as we go over this way, there could be something that in the past was really important about going over the details, either with something to do with travel or being by water was like really important to maybe access these memories, right? Since water is a conduit, okay? But we can also see going this way here, Aries, that there was a proactive, assertive, maybe, more masculine energy showing up in the past and putting an effort to going over these memories as well. Because what does memories help us with our intuitive or our spiritual section? It definitely makes sense. It's a big part of it, right? This could have, of course, had something to do with the Capricorn, Aries, or during Capricorn season, or where you have Capricorn in your chart. But it doesn't have to be. It can just really be about what the goat represents, right? So, going up difficult paths and climbing difficult mountains, okay, or challenges, and still not giving up and being really good at being flexible, okay, was big in the past here, okay. If we also go this way now, we haven't talked about any of this yet because they weren't touching other things in the reading. Here we got the mermaid, we've got the ship. I'm sorry, not the ship. That's weird. The ship's over there. Here we have the mermaid, and then we have the safety pin. We've got the money bags. We've got a coyote penis bone here, a coyote claw over here, and then we have the key charm, okay? So here in the past, Aries, someone could have been longing for a long time a sense of safety and abundance in their spirituality, in their intuitive side, in their unconscious, right? In within their spirit, yours or someone else's here, Aries, or the general energy. Someone was wishing for that for a long time, thinking about it, is on their mind, and wanting to find answers, being proactive, assertive, wanting to find spiritual answers to something here, okay, with the key. Now, remember, if we go back this way, these are all things that are in the past that also apply this section, right? So, someone was maybe also, or an energy here, Aries, like, what am I digesting spiritually, right? With the fork. Okay, we talked about it and with work and money, we talked about it with relationships and body and mental health. Now we're talking about it with spirituality or intuition, unconscious. What are we spiritually digesting? So maybe someone started to think about that in the past and they were like, okay, I also need spiritual boundaries with this bobcat tooth here, right? I need spiritual boundaries with my spiritual support system and also my 3D support system. Makes sense, right? Maybe someone also, the energy here in the past, Aries, was like, how do I have more flexibility with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, or my own leadership qualities? Because there's all this good luck around this here with that horseshoe and the ladybug inside and then leading into Pisces, the twin fish. Could have something to do with the Pisces, Aries, or during Pisces season, or where you have Pisces in your chart or someone else does. Or it has nothing to do with that zodiac stuff, and it's just about where can I go with the flow with my own leadership qualities? Where can I go with the flow with a teacher, a mentor, a guide here to have more support, to have more equal give and take with the balance scales? Again, could have something to do with the Libra during Libra season where you have Libra in your chart or someone else does. But with Saturn showing up here too, now on top of the bicycle, when we're talking about spirituality or intuition or unconscious, this could be talking about something to do with astral travel, lucid dreaming even, or just showing a lot of movement in these areas. But someone's feeling it or was feeling it a lot in their crown chakra even in the past, and it's still kind of going on here in the future, current, present energies. So there is a sense of freedom and safety around that, and maybe working with the community and our individual effort in clearing something within the family. Okay, again, with that seahorse is a big thing here, Aries. So, and all the different sections, but especially in this one too, right? Because we're talking about our spirit, okay? Or someone's spirit. So clearing something within the family, whether it's with siblings, relatives, parents, children, or it's clearing something within whoever we consider our family or our tribe, our friends, our family, etc. Okay. So it's going to be different for everybody since it is a general reading, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about there. But look at this, Aries. We haven't talked about this at all. The butterfly. I didn't mean to flip that over. Let me go back here. So the butterfly was hiding under this human tooth bone here. So big transformation also happening in the spirituality, in the unconscious, in the intuition section. Okay. So someone is chewing over and digesting this big transformation. Yeah, why not? Okay, let's think about it. Let's talk about it. And we can also see that there's beautiful healing energy with all these new ideas that may be coming in. Look at that. The lizard is really nicely complementing the lightning bolt. So new ideas coming in, healing ideas coming in about the spirituality, about the unconscious, about our intuition. I really like that for you, Aries. That just gave me like goosebumps a little bit. And when we go this way, Aries, we can see the coffin is here. We got the hummingbird, and we also have the cup. Okay, so here the emotions in this section, our spiritual team is saying, you know what? That's what makes your intuition stronger, or someone else's, okay, or just the general environment situation. These emotions can also help us with doing something non traditional with our own spirituality or our intuition or our unconscious, right? Because the hummingbird flies backwards, but it gets the sweetest nectar, right? So it does something a little bit differently, okay? But it's trusting what we are also naturally good at here, Aries, our natural gifts, okay? So there's a lot of emotions around that, perhaps, but your spiritual team is like, we're here, okay? And if we go this way now here, Aries, also your spiritual team is showing up here. If there is a no that you give or you receive in some way with your intuition, your spirituality, your unconscious, it's not a bad thing, because the energetic energies, right? Since bats are blind and they use echolocation, there's something here about language or just energetic vibrations being really important. So sometimes we have to say no, or give a no, or receive a no. And it doesn't mean that it has to be no for forever, but I see it as a good thing, okay? Because if there's a wish here to get rid of spiritual challenges, intuitive challenges, look what's underneath it. Remember here, Aries, you got the sun. Okay, happiness is in your spiritual environment. Happiness can be in your unconscious, intuitive environment. Okay, so what do we need to do though to continue to focus on the happiness aspect and feel it and receive it and have fun with it? Your spiritual team showing up here again with the angel coin and the skeleton hand is like, we're going to help you clear and cleanse your spiritual house. Yes, you need to listen to us. Listen to your guides, Aries. Listen to your ancestors. Listen to your past on loved ones, friends, family. They want to help you with this. They want you to know that there is deep spiritual protection here, and there is passion and creativity for the taking, right? There's courage here. Because also, Aries, they want you to follow your North Star and your spiritual dreams. They want to help you plant these seeds over here with the corn charm. Remember, they want you to also get that beautiful, peaceful, gentle, spiritual energy too, okay? To get away from the challenges, to have more fun, to get the peaceful energy too. So, what else? I mean, I feel like that's everything. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's everything. I don't want to like repeat anything. Let me just pull back here and kind of look at it again for a quick second. But no, I mean, this is really beautiful, Aries, and lots of really great things happening too. It's like, yeah, some blockages, some challenges here and there, but I would say overall, there's a lot of really positive things happening. And if there's, spiritual doubts, or we don't have all the answers with our intuition or unconscious, again, last thing I'll say here is that your spiritual team is saying, use your support system. And if you get emotional about wanting to level up spiritually and consciously, or with your intuition, or working with someone that has more knowledge than you, or just more confidence that it's okay because there's all this beautiful good luck on it. So to keep clearing and cleansing, get the deep spiritual nest, because rest in your nest. I said spiritual nest, but I meant to say spiritual rest. So yes, get in your spiritual nest to get your spiritual rest here, Aries. That's funny. But no, I meant to say it. So I guess so. It's like, if we want to take a leap of faith and just trust the spiritual downloads while we're sleeping, unconscious and intuitive, we got to get that extra rest to do it, okay? And just keep setting your boundaries here too. And if people don't understand that you need more rest, then who cares, right? Because you know you need it, or someone else here needs it, Aries, or the general environment situation needs it, okay? But yeah, really beautiful reading, my God. I have to find where I have Aries in my chart. I think my North Node is in Aries. So North Node is usually like your career kind of area in your life. So it's interesting. But let me try to put the camera generally back up there. All right. So anyway, enjoy this time period, Aries and Pisces, if Pisces is still here too. Feel free to like, subscribe, share. It does help my channel grow, and appreciate it. And it also tells me that you enjoy these readings that I'm doing for free. So again, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or eventually TikTok, I appreciate it if you feel guided. But yeah, anyway, guys, I am going to tune out for a little bit. But I will be back at some point. I don't know when exactly, but I'm trying to get all the readings done ahead of time. Or during the beginning of July anyway. So the last two for Taurus and Gemini will be coming possibly maybe Sunday or Monday. We'll see. Okay, so just be patient with me. But anyway,